What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Leafs Chatter. Today we're going to be going over the Maple Leafs and who I think the Leafs should target in terms of the back end and down the middle. So we'll get into it here. I don't want to take up too much time. So we'll get into the first one, and that's Darren Radish with the Tampa Bay Lightning. So Darren Radish, he's 30, so he is older, and he's going to be wanting at least a 6 or 7 year deal. And that's something that you're going to have to soak if you're going to sign him, because he's not taking a 3 or 4 year deal. He wants security, and he had 26 points on the power play this year. Yeah, it was Tampa's power play, which we all know was stacked. But he had 10 goals on that power play. He ended off the season with 70 points, and he had 22 goals. That's insane. That's madness. Now, when you look at his stats and everything, you see maybe it's a one-off, and that would suck. Like if you lock this guy up to a 7 year deal, probably paying him like $7 million a year, and he ends up just having a one-off and it becomes like a 30-point guy. I mean, yeah, that would fucking suck. But I like, by the sounds of things, Chayka and Sundin apparently are gonna get to work, and I think they're gonna make a lot of moves this off season, because at the end of the day, maybe Matthews is saying all this, yeah, I want to see what happens, to put more force or more pressure on, management to do something. And that's completely fair by him if he wants to do that. I mean, it sucks. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't actually want to stay here, then fuck off. But if he's doing this just as a tactic so that they actually do something this off season, well, then I'm 100% for that. Like that's perfectly fine. If they want to do that, that's fine. But I don't know. We'll see. This is one of the defensemen that I would go after, just because there's not many on the market. And if he can be even just a piece of what he was this past year, that would be amazing. Now, getting into the second one is Thomas Harley. Now, Thomas Harley would be amazing. He would, at the end of the day, he's just a younger defenseman. Didn't have the season like Radish did, but he had 36 points in 70 games, 6 goals. He's a puck-moving D. He's big. He can skate well. Is he the best defensively? He's not bad. I mean, he's definitely, I wouldn't put him in the, in the area saying he's as good as Radish. Like, Radish is very good defensively. Harley's not bad, though. Like, he's no joke. Like, when you look at his stats here, when Dallas was doing, like, they had a good year this year. He was just only a +3. Like, I don't know what happened there, but the previous years, +32, +28. I don't know what the difference was those years. I don't know if maybe he was playing with Tanev one of those years. I'm not sure. But yeah, like, again, I'm not entirely sure what the deal was with him, but he didn't have a good plus minus this year. But I mean, he had 36 points, right? I mean, he was on pace for probably like 45 points this year, which is pretty good. And like he had 50 points the year before, 16 goals. So I mean, I think he'd be a good fit. I honestly didn't really do too much diving into it, so I don't know if he's an RFA or not. Just due to his age, I'm going to say that he probably is. So who knows? Maybe if they don't have the money to sign him because they're trying to sign Robertson, maybe you swing them the rights for our Robertson the other way, and he plays with his brother. I don't know. I'm not saying that'd be an exact swap, but that's a piece that you could probably use to get him, or to get his rights at least. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we'll see what happens there, but that's the other D that I think we should go after. Now, getting into the center positions, because to me, this is the most important position. I mean, if we draft Gavin McKenna, we have a winger. There's lots of wingers on the market, but there's not a lot of really good centers. And one that has been coming up is Vincent Trocheck. Apparently, he's probably going to get traded. That's what everyone's speculating. That's what everyone's saying. Now, they don't know to who. Apparently, there's multiple teams interested, and why wouldn't they? Vincent Trocheck's a great player. He plays the game the right way. He's a 50, 60-point guy right now. He'll get you like 20 goals a season, throws a shit ton of hits, and he's an overall great player. He's really good on the faceoff dot. Like, he's always got, I think he had just below a 57% faceoff percentage, if I'm not mistaken, this year. You can fact check that, but he's really good at faceoffs. Now, these are his stats just for the past 4 years with the Rangers. 64 points, 22 goals, 77 points, 25 goals, 59 points, 26 goals, and then this past year, in only 67 games, he had 53 points and 16 goals. He probably, if he played a full season, he'd be roughly on track with what he was the past couple years. I bet you would have got like in the 60-ish point range and probably hit like 20 to 22 goals. But at the end of the day, they weren't very good this year, the Rangers. I mean, his plus minus took a beating, but same with us. Everyone on our team is a negative. I think Nyes is a minus 30. But he's a hell of a player. The guy plays hard. This is a guy that I think Chayka and Sundin will both see eye to eye on, because at the end of the day, he's a tough player to play against. He's a center, so that gives you the opportunity to either, if you want, you could bring him down to the third line. I'd probably leave him as your second line center, and then that leaves you to do whatever the hell you want with Johnny. You could bring him make him your third line center. You could put him on the wing. I personally would put him as a center because we have terrible center depth. But this guy also is a proven playoff performer. Scratch that, 1 goal in 7 games with the Rangers. I don't know what happened that year, but the most recent season, the most recent playoff run with the Rangers, he had 16 games played, 20 points. He was over a point per game, 8 goals, 12 assists. I don't know what his hits were here, but I'm assuming he laid a shit ton of them. So the guy can perform in the playoffs. Now, I don't know what you have to give up for him. It's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap at all. So, I mean, he's already a bad cap hit. He's a great player. I'm not sure what you have to give up for him, honestly. And to be honest, I don't really want to know. I just hope if they do make a move for him, it's a fair trade and they don't overpay. Now, the next guy I want to go into is Jared McCann. Jared McCann's also a center, and he's not overly large either. Like, he's 6'1", like under 200 pounds, but I mean, he gets points. He's a little fragile, in my opinion. Like, I mean, the past 2 years he had 80 game seasons, but I don't know. Like this season, it was bad for him. Like, injury wise, he wasn't that good. But if he can play like he did the past couple years, I mean, actually, I take that back. I wouldn't say he's fragile, but this year he was kind of injury prone. Like, he's not that fragile. But I mean, like, again, he's not like a big guy, but he plays the game hard. He's not gonna like kill anybody on the ice, but he plays hard. He's pretty decent at faceoffs. He'll get you like anywhere from like on a full 82 game season, he's getting you like anywhere from 60 to 65 points minimum. So that's really solid, and he gets you like 20 goals minimum a season, which is like Leafs could use that. I'd probably rather get Trocheck, but I mean McCann's just as good, honestly. He's just a different player. He's not as physical as Trocheck, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you had to choose one, I think you go for Trocheck, just even for the playoff experience, and just like look at his stats aren't that good in the playoffs. I know he was with Seattle, and he was a little bit younger when he was playing with Pittsburgh, but I mean, at the end of the day, I like Chayka and Sundin are looking at stats, like not just like analytics, but they're also looking at their stats throughout like seasons. So like if they're not a very good playoff performer and they can't, carry a line, they probably wouldn't be that interested, because at the end of the day, they're trying to win a cup for Matthews, trying to help Matthews win a cup. So you're not going to do that by getting soft players that don't play the game the right way when the games get tough. You need a guy who always has that mentality, and then when he gets into the playoffs, that's where he thrives. Like a guy like Dakota Joshua, Nick Waugh, those guys were made for the playoffs. Unfortunately, we traded Waugh, but I think we got a decent return for him. And I think Dakota Joshua was actually playing really good this season. I mean, it was unfortunate this year. He got, a lacerated kidney and he was out for a long period of time. But I mean, he was finding his game and then he got hurt. And then he came back and he had to find his game again. But I thought he came back pretty quick, and he came back strong. And I think you need size on your team. Like, obviously you need some speedy guys, but you do need a Dakota Joshua on your team, because he was great in the playoffs for the Canucks. So you need guys like that. Now, getting into one of my favorite players on the market, it's Boone Jenner. Now, Boone Jenner, this is 100% true. Forget the Jared McCann thing I said, but Boone Jenner is injury prone. He's injured a lot. But if you could find a way to keep him healthy, maybe the Leafs actually hire some staff instead of firing them all. With the Maple Leafs, he might be able to play like a good 70 games. You could maybe get him to that 70 game mark, which would be huge for him. But he's 6'2", 204 pounds. He's on the older side. He's 32, just like Trocheck, but he's a hell of a player. He's physical. I mean, you're not going to get You're not gonna get both Trocheck or Boone, like a and Boone Jenner. That's not happening. It'd be fucking it'd be heaven if we could, but unfortunately, that's not realistic. Now, looking at Boone Jenner's past 3 seasons, 38 points, 13 goals in 67 games, 19 points, 7 goals in 26 games, and then 35 points, 22 goals in 58 games. Like those stats aren't bad. They're not bad at all. It's just he doesn't play a full season. So you have to hope that, maybe when you get him, you sign him to maybe a 3 or 4 year deal. I don't know how much he'd cost, to be honest. I don't want to throw numbers out there because I actually have no idea what Boone Jenner would cost. But, if you sign him and he ends up playing 85% of the games or 90% of the games, like that'd be huge. That'd be good if the Leafs can get, close to 70 games with him, right? And then hopefully he's healthy for playoffs. So we'll see what happens, but he plays the game the right way, just like Trocheck. Now, getting into Mason McTavish, I love this guy for a while. He's a great player. He is. He plays the game the right way. He's got a chippiness and an edge to his game, which I think is awesome. I like he had a good playoffs this year. We'll get into the stats in a second, but I mean he's 6'1", 220 pounds. He's a good center. I mean, at the end of the day, Leafs need a center, need center depth. And if you can get one of McTavish, Trocheck or Boone Jenner, those would be like my top three. And then I definitely take McCann for sure. But the rest of these guys play the game the right way, and I think that's what the Leafs need more of. Now, looking at it here as stats, 41 points in 41 points, 17 goals in 75 games. It's honestly not bad. I thought he would do better this year, to be honest. And a minus 15. I mean, Anaheim made the playoffs, so I mean that's not a very good number, to be honest. But last year he was even, and he had 52 points in 76 games, 22 goals. That's an awesome season. So he's basically on track to get you, 45 points a season, and he'll get you anywhere from that 18 to 20 goal mark. Now in the playoffs, he was pretty good. He had 6 points in 10 games. It's not bad at all. A goal and 5 assists. You definitely want to see more goals there, but he's not the primary goal scorer. And he's not like a crazy goal scorer, but he plays the game hard. He can get some greasy goals here and there, but he's a great playmaker. The guy's a grinder. He grinds out there. And I'd love to have him on the team. But at the end of the day, some of these are long shots, and you're probably not going to get them, but, it's possible. Now, Barrett Hayton is another one. He's with Utah. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He's young as well. He's 25. Obviously, McTavish is a little bit younger. He's 23, but 25-year-old, still very young. He was first overall for Arizona back in 2018. And, he's a pretty good player as well. Looking at his stats here, I mean, this season he had 67 games played, 10 goals for a total of 25 points. That's not crazy. I mean, but the season before, 82 games, he had 20 goals, 46 points. Like that's great. Like that's freaking awesome if he can do that. I just don't understand look, everything's different. He had 24 points in 60 games in 2021-22, and then 43 points the year after, 19 goals, and then it just dropped. I know it was only 33. Yeah, but I guess that's actually okay. 10 points in 33 games. It is what it is. But I mean, he's a good player. Like, I think if he's on the right team, he can get you, in like that 30 to 40 point range. And he'll probably get you anywhere from like 15 to 20 goals. But again, we need centers. So this is why I just went over the centers. Wingers, like we can talk about wingers all day. Like you want like a Marchment, he's out there. If he wants to come here, I'd take him in a heartbeat. There's Bunting. I'd bring Bunting back. I loved him. It depends on what the Leafs do. If they're gonna trade their rights away for the Robertsons and Michellis, then yeah, like you're gonna need to pick up some guys. Obviously, you got guys in the minors, but realistically, Matthews wants to see what the team looks like. And if you have a team with like 3 or 4 minor leaguers on it, I mean, I'm sure that's not gonna make him want to stay here. Like they're gonna have to go out there and fucking spend. They gotta spend on the blue line. They gotta find a way to move Morgan Riley. Or Carlo, one of those two guys, if not both. And at the same time, you got to try and find a way to get rid of a goalie, whether that be Wall or Stolarz. I'd probably get rid of Wall, in my opinion, but that's just me. I think you can get rid of Wall, and I mean, it is what it is. Like Wall has never, he hasn't been anything as he hasn't been crazy as I thought. I mean, Stoller's played better for us in the playoffs. If he didn't get injured, I bet you would have beat Florida. I would have put a shit ton of money on that. But again, like he's gonna have a lot to do. Jake is gonna be talking to a lot of people. His thumbs are gonna be sore. He's gonna get carpal tunnel. That's what's gonna happen within the next couple weeks. But right now they're looking for a coach. I'm sure they're looking at everything right now. But first things first, you need a coach. You need a fucking coach. Then you have to start worrying about the draft. But at the same time, they're going to be juggling everything: coach, draft, free agency, other hires within the company, whether that be scouts, whether that be, trainers, whatever they're doing. There's a lot of shit that has to be done. And to be honest, there is time, yes, but time goes by so fast. I mean, I think it's like 5 weeks, 6 weeks maybe to the draft. So, like, you got to giddy up. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope they make some moves. We need to make at least like 3 or 4 moves in this offseason, like signings, and then we'll go from there. I mean, I think you could definitely get off a guy like Steven Lorentz as your fourth line center, and then you could go and sign McCarron. He'll probably be a little bit more than what you're paying Steven Lorentz, and he's bigger. He plays the game harder. He still gets points. He's physical, way more physical than Lorentz is. It's just an option at the end of the day. And you always have Pizzetta if you need to bring in a bruiser or a grinder. You have him for those tougher games. He signed for another year. So you gotta weigh your options. You gotta see. But I think out of all the guys that we went over, one of Radish or Harley would be huge. You move Riley, and you see what you could do. Maybe you move Riley, and in turn, and like maybe he wants to go to Vancouver. You trade him, and you bring back Jake DeBrusk. Now you have a winger. Yeah, it's still a lot of cap, but you have a winger now. Makes $5 million. He'll probably potch like 25 goals a season. Like that's pretty good. So I mean, there's other stuff that they could look into and whatnot, but definitely you need a center, and you gotta, if it's gonna cost you a little bit, you might have to just bite the bullet because you need a Trocheck, you need a Boone Jenner. Like I'd rather get Trocheck over Boone Jenner for sure. Like, I mean, you can try and get a McTavish. It's going to be tough, but you can try. I think the easiest one to actually go after, and you have a good shot at getting him, is Vincent Trocheck, and he would help out the team immensely. But again, that's just my opinion on it. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll make more videos when more information and other leaks come out. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.